Hi everyone, it's Joy here from the Denver, Colorado area. It happens to be snowing where I am. I wonder what it's doing where you are. Anyway, um, this is part of the Bundle Focus program that several demonstrators are doing around the globe. This month we are doing the Heart and Home suite, and I am going to be using the Honeybee Home stamp set from that suite. This suite is part of the mini catalog from January to June 2022, and it has a very large suite of products. It has 2 stamp sets with dies included, so 2 bundles, and it has a wonderful embossing folder, ribbon, embellishments, doilies, and this very pretty designer series paper that has patterns on one side and like a bleached wood grain on the other side. So that's very fun. I am going to be using this stamp set and dies this time. And it has all these great stamp sets, and it has dies that cut out several of the elements. And it also has elements that cut out very detailed pieces that coordinate with this set. So that is a wonderful set. This is a great bundle to get, especially if you are a fan of springtime and flowers and bees. Bees are so important to the environment. So this folder here makes a honeycomb pattern. And as you can see on my sample, I took one of those doilies and ran it through that embossing folder, and it made a very pretty pattern on there. So let's put this up in the corner, and let's go ahead and bring in a sheet of cardstock for our card base. I'm using the Bumblebee cardstock. It will be retiring soon, so if you love this color, make sure you get enough of it to have to make projects in the future. This is a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of paper scored at 4¼ inches. If you are in another country and you do metric measurements, you will have a 14 by 9 centimeter by 21 centimeter piece scored at 10.5 centimeters. So let's go ahead and fold our card base. And then we are going to bring in some of this designer series paper. I chose this one. I really like the diagonal version of these wood planks. This also has some great bees on the other side. If you wish, those dies will cut out these little bees. But I wanted to use the wood grain for my project. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to my card base. This is a 3.5 inches wide by the length of my card base, which is 5.5 inches. So if you are doing metric, that's about 8.9 centimeters. And let's see, I think I got that just a little off, but it is going to stick really good. Let's see, can I adjust it? Maybe I can. Maybe it hasn't stuck too hard yet. This the seal is very sticky, so kind of once you place it, you may be committed. Let's go ahead and just readjust that a little bit. Like I said, I hadn't really, burnished that down onto my card base yet, so I think we're okay. So there, that's a little better. And I think there's a little bit that I can go in and trim off that edge there with my paper snips. Just trim just a fraction of an inch off of that so that that is all level. And now I'm going to bring in some of this denim ribbon that comes in this suite. It looks like blue jeans, basically, so that's fun. And I cut a piece that was just, approximately, the width of my card, a little bit less, and that was approximately 4 inches. I will be putting the measurements at the end of this video, so don't fret if I forget to say what a measurement is. You can always see the measurements listed in the supply section at the end of this video. So we're just going to approximately put that there. I'm going to bring in this doily. The doilies come in Misty Moonlight, Cinnamon Cider, and Basic Gray. And that's already been run through that great embossing folder. And I've already die cut some of these detailed pieces in black. I wanted this to look kind of like a silhouette. And let's see. That had just a little bit of washi tape on it. So I'm going to go ahead and just attach these at the bottom. So I need just a little bit of my liquid glue. And just put a little bit there. Don't need too much. And I'm going to attach these two, kind of move them out a little bit from each other. That one up just a little bit, like so. And then I need to attach this one down at the bottom here. So I'm just using just a dab of my liquid glue. And I'm only attaching these at the bottom because I kind of want a feel where the flowers are kind of coming off of my card. So I don't really want them together. And now we can go ahead and put this on our card front. Putting it on here about like so. Let's see. See if I can get this going here. I'm going to go about there. And then this needs a couple little dots. Not too much. You don't want it to be oozing everywhere. A couple little dots on here. Maybe a little dot right here. Just a tiny little bit. And now we can attach this onto our doily. So it goes approximately there. Go ahead and put that cap back on. And we're going to bring in a scrap piece to stamp a couple of our bees. I'm going to stamp them both at the same time, so I put both of those stamps on the same block. And I'm going to ink that up with some of our Memento Tuxedo Black. Stamp those on there. And this little bit here is going to be okay because that's going to be run through the die cut machine. So let's let that dry just a little bit. And let's bring in a couple of pieces of cardstock for our sentiment. We're going to be using the So Glad We're Family stamp. And I'm going to be using the banner punch. I think it's mini banners or something like that. I will definitely have to look that up and put that in a text box. So I have cut these two the same because I want them to line up together. So this is 3/4 inches because this does varying widths, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1 inch. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut that little flag out of both ends. And do the same for this bumblebee piece. I turn it over so I can make sure that it's going where I want it to go. Slide this one in as well. And now we're going to bring in some of our Misty Moonlight ink and this So Glad We're Family stamp. And hopefully I can get that straight because I can't see directly overhead because that's where my camera is. So hopefully, that looks pretty good. So now we have those, and this should be dry enough now. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. I'm going to bring in a couple of blender pens because these bees need just a little bit of color on them. So these are the Daffodil Delight Light and Dark, and this is the light gray granite color. So I'm going to just do a little bit of coloring to show you. And then you can come back in with the darker on the bullet end. There's a brush tip and a bullet tip on these. Just gonna bring in some little touches there for just a little bit of shading, and then use the bullet tip to just do one side, the bottom edge of that wing. So I have some, to save time, that I have already colored, and I formed these. I wanted the wings to kind of go up, and I wanted the body to kind of curl. So I've done some forming just with my fingers. You know, your fingers are, you know, the best nature tools there are. And I'm going to use a little bit of the Wink of Stella just on those wings. Just give them a tiny bit of shimmer. So now they look very much like wings when you see them with some sunlight shining on them. And I need some of these mini dimensionals, one on the back of each of these. So those are ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead, I think this is dry enough now. I can attach these two pieces together. So I'm just matching the that flag cutout from our punch. And I need some dimensionals. On the back, I'll use my regular size for this. I love having two sizes of dimensionals. It really is very helpful and makes your projects go very quick. So let's go ahead and just attach this and attach our little bees. One, two bees. So you have kind of about, you know, 3 little kind of bumblebee elements there in the bumblebee color and the actual bumblebees. So let's go ahead and just finish this off with some of these embellishments. These are the classic matte dots, and I'm using the basic gray color. So let's go ahead. We're going to put one down here and 2 more up here. Odd numbers are much more pleasing to the eye, so I usually try to make sure I have odd numbers. There we go. So that's the front of our card. Now you definitely need to have a little bit of something on the inside. So I've gone ahead and I've cut a piece cut down just slightly smaller so that I can have a layer of that bumblebee color behind, and I've gone ahead and I've used the other bee in this set and stamped that in the bumblebee ink color to coordinate. And I've left it blank so that I can do a very personalized message to the recipient of this. Go ahead and we'll just attach this together. And now we have our finished card. I hope you've liked my presentation for this monthly bundle focus using the Honeybee in the Heart and Home set. Again, this is the Honeybee Home bundle using the Honeybee Home stamp set and the Honeybee Blooms dies, and it is part of the mini catalog, which goes from January to June 2022. So please go ahead and, you know, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And as always, if you want to know more about my videos as they come out, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. We will talk to you soon, and I will have another video for this bundle focus coming up soon.